Okay.
Brendan, congratulations.
Thank you.
What do you feel was the catalyst for the way the game changed in the second half?
Well, I thought first half it was a little bit broken. Both teams, obviously injuries in the game, and always can be a wee bit tentative the games like this and the magnitude of it. But so we just said about half time, just about freeing ourselves a wee bit more, okay, and just passing the ball that bit quicker. I thought Scott Sinclair coming into the game was excellent when he came in that first period. So from him coming on at that point, we started to go forward that wee bit more and be a bit more direct and have more penetration in our game. And then and I thought Ryan Christie coming into it was sensational, really, as an individual performance. Playing in midfield as one of the eights, just his intensity, his quality, his pressing, everything. And once we get the first goal, probably Craig's perspective, you might think is a bit soft, but Wooly's in a great position to see it. And I think if you see the young player when he makes the foul, he's got no real argument with it. And then from that point, when we scored, we were absolutely brilliant. From that time in the game, created lots of chances. Their keepers made some great saves, and then we worked the ball in the space really well.
Looked like a side in the second half that is not keen to relinquish any of these trophies you've gathered.
No, but we said before the game, it's understanding why you want to do it. We get into Europe, and at times we lack some characteristics in Europe that can really help us at that level. But no matter what the result we have in a midweek game, we always look forward and we recover well, and then we come into a game like today, like we've done in other games, and it's just understanding why you want to do it and the purpose of it. And the purpose for us was to get to another final. We knew it was going to be tough because Hearts have started the season very, very well, but we know when we bring our game and the level of our game, we can be a threat for any team. So yeah, second half we were outstanding.
Brendan, Hearts losing Stephen Naismith so early, I guess you would have been pleased to see his impact negated. Do you feel that was a serious factor on the game?
No, I wouldn't be pleased to see it. I think he's had issues, Stephen, with his knees. So you don't like to see good players, especially in occasions like that. And like I say, that sort of broke a little bit of their rhythm. Obviously, Oswey Kawasi, you've seen he hyperextended his knee, so he wasn't having difficulties. He has to come off. So I thought it was just a wee bit tentative. There wasn't too many chances that were created first half. And like I say, we didn't really have quite the same fluency as what I would have wanted. But you have to find it. And I thought second half we found it, and ended up being a great scoreline for us.
On Ncham, Brendan, at half-time, was that injury or tactical for Ncham coming off at half-time?
Well, no, he felt a tightness that was weighing up the risk. He'd felt a little bit in his hamstring, and sometimes you can give it that 15-20 minutes to see how it goes. But I think when you've got a player like Ryan on the bench, you have a decision to make. You either leave it or make the change straight away. And I felt that his energy and goal threat could help the team. So yeah, we'll assess, see how Olivier is tomorrow.
Is this performance by Christie one that you see could kick him on to bigger and better things? Is this a spark that he needed in that Celtic jersey to kick on, in a sense?
No, I think it's been a process with Ryan. I think when I first came in, he was a player that I felt that he could be in and around the squad, and he actually played some games for us. But I felt for him to be able to give his best to Celtic and work with the pressures of playing for a big club, he needs to go out and feel that pressure on a weekly basis. And you think of his move from Inverness to Celtic. He then went out and played for a great club in Aberdeen with a really good manager. So he felt that pressure for about 18 months playing, and I always felt that then he could come back and hopefully then make a contribution, because you need the personality to play for the big clubs and be ready to play in big games. So since he's come back, he's shown that. He's come into games, he's started in some games, and like you say, you see his impact today. He's come into the game, affected it, and scored an absolutely brilliant goal and involved in two others. So it's all part of the development. for him, and like I say, it was great to see it.
Brendan, there was a very strange incident in the first half when Kouassi seemed to get grabbed between the legs by Steve McLean. Did you see that? Has any of the boys spoken about that afterwards? No,
I haven't seen it. He does some strange things, Steve McLean, and says some daft things as well. But no, I haven't seen it. I genuinely haven't seen it.
Brendan, I think you were asked about Lee Griffiths before the game. You weren't able to give a time scale for his recovery. Could you just elaborate on that a wee bit, please?
Yeah, I don't know when he will be back involved. So he's obviously had some scans on one or two issues that he's had. So, but he's now back looking to get training. He's nearly clear of his calf injury. So once he can get his work done and get up to speed in the training, then we'll just assess it from there. I've got no timeline on it when it might be, but yeah, we'll await him and hopefully he can get back very soon.
Just to touch on McLean there, Brendan, you mentioned things he said. Do the things he said last week, was that mentioned beforehand? Is that something that kind of... No, not at all. He's a competitive, he's an experienced player, of course, and I think he's done really well for Hearts since he's come in. Probably a bit frustrated within the game, but like I say, it was never mentioned.
Brendan, the last three domestic performances, it's felt that there's been a big change. Things have started to pick up for you. Have you sensed that? And is there a different, markedly different feeling to there was post Kilmarnock, for example? It seems there's been a switch.
Yeah, I think so, and I think you can see, I think you're always judged on the pitch. I think that's where you look at it. I think the games where we've lost this season domestically, I assume, the responsibility for that. Thinking about changing the team, getting into some games and some important European games. So I accept that, but still, we weren't quite in our flow at that time. But like I say, it's as the season goes on, you're looking for that development in the team, and I think you can see now, it's about the efficiency of the team and obviously the creativity. And the last three games now, we've created quite a few chances. Some we've taken, and like today, we didn't quite take them all. Their keeper made some great saves, and we were maybe a wee bit wasteful in our finishing. But no, it was another clean sheet for us. Defensively, we were fairly strong, not too much trouble. But yeah, I think we're returning to the level that we would want to be at.
So I was just going to ask you, Brendan, how close are you to your absolute best again?
I just think it's time. I think once we get the players back, Craig, it's just getting that squad back together again and giving us those options. But I think you see the second half today. You've seen the game against Hibs, against St Johnstone. I think that fluency and how dynamic we were was pretty evident in the game. So, but there's still an awful lot of work for us to do. But it's great to see guys like Ryan come in and have that impact. Scott Sinclair I thought was great when he came off the bench today as well. Christopher Azure, who hasn't played for such a long time, coming into a game like that. Two really young centre halves playing as well. Showed up really well. So all round, I think, a bit static first half, but second half we were great in our play, and I think we deserve to be in the final.
Brendan, this recurring theme with Lee Griffiths, is it annoying you? Is it something that you've voiced your displeasure at before?
It's not, Peter, no. Listen, he, like I've said, whenever you play for the top clubs, you have to be in top condition, and if you're not, you have to work very hard to get back to that. So, we work with the players that are fit and ready and available, and the ones that aren't, we do everything we can to ensure that we get them back as quick as we can. So we hope that Lee can be back, because he's a very valuable player for us, in our squad. He's a guy that can score goals, but it's more than that. There's other elements to our collective philosophy, both with and without the ball, that everyone has to be ready to participate in. So he's, rid of his calf injury that he had, and so he now has to really work on getting himself back to some level of fitness to come back in again.
Brendan, just on Ryan Christie.
Yeah.
I think I'm right in saying that his contract's up this summer.
Mhm.
I mean, are you keen to see him extend that? Is there anything going on in that regard?
Yeah, he's someone that, of course, we would like to commit to. I think the club are been talking to his representatives, so but I'm not aware of any movement on it. You know, I tend to focus just, you know, work with the players. He's in his last year, but like we've had with other players like Stuart Armstrong and that, my focus is making them better as players, giving them a future here to be involved and be a part of, and hopefully then the other stuff can sort itself out. So, but yeah, definitely a player that we'd love to keep.
Yeah, he's shown you enough in the time that you've worked with him. Then that you think
absolutely, yeah, he's a fantastic player. You know, you see like his contribution today, and you've seen it at Aberdeen when he was there, and that was all step by step. But now he's 23, so he's at a really good age now to come in and have the personality to play in a big club. I thought he did well in the week, you know, against Leipzig, and so yeah, he can make a valuable contribution for us.
Thank you.
Okay, cheers, thank you.